the inscription that was hanging here. Let's fix it here. This is the main entrance to our consulate.
Albania is a small European country, is categorically condemned Russian invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, from the first days of the conflict. Albanians came to Ukraine 250 years ago. About 5,000 Albanians lived here until 24 February. Since 2015, the Honorary Consulate of the Republic of Albania in Kharkiv, the only representative office of this country in Ukraine, has been taking care of the Albanian diaspora in our country. After the start of the full-scale invasion and the demonstration of the official position of the Albanian government in support of Ukraine, the Russian leadership decided to take an unprecedented criminal step. Honorary Consul of the Republic of Albania, Shahin Omarov, recalls the first days of the invasion.
Russian tanks were trying to drive through the Belgorod highway to Kharkiv. There was resistance. The self-defense units came out, and we helped the guys prepare Molotov cocktails. Hundreds of people were standing all along the street on the Belgorod highway, and we gave them what we could: glass jars, bottles, diesel, rags to make fire cocktail.
The Honorary Consul brought water, biscuits and cigarettes to the defenders of Kharkiv. Also, he did not believe in treacherous attack from Russia until the last moment. He did not feel confused. Everything developed very quickly and sometimes even dramatically.
I'm on my way. A man fires an igla from behind me and hits the tank 500 meters in front of me. This is in Payet-Katki, at the entrance to Kharkiv. And I'm going there. I thought it was our military. I wanted to take them some food, too. And then a rocket hits a tank over my head. The tank is on fire. It was a Russian tank. I did not know whom to kiss with joy. Glory to the heroes. There you go. That's worth a lot.
On 6 March 2022, when the whole world could not recover from the outright was unleashed by Russia in the center of Europe, and hope for quick resolution of the conflict, Albania found a way to morally support our country. At an extraordinary session, the local authorities of the Albanian capital, Tirana, renamed the street where the Russian embassy was located.
The Prime Minister of Albania is a media person. He tweeted that starting today, the extraordinary and the plenipotentiary Russian ambassador would receive letters at the address, Free Ukraine.
On the same day, a missile hit the consulate building directly.
It landed here, and by the way, the trajectory is very interesting. The guidance was very accurate. Right above the office. That's where the office is. It fell right above the office. They knew that the partitions were wooden. Everything was on fire for 7 days.
The fact that the consulate is located on the first floor of a residential building did not stop the invaders. Since the first days of the shelling, the residents of the building have been hiding in the consulate. Children, women and the elderly people sought refuge in the corridors and the basement behind the thick brick walls of the old building. At the time of the hit, the consulate staff were inside. Since 24 February we have been living here. 3 women and a boy. Because they had nothing to go on, transport was not longer running. When it all started on 6 March, we were here. Every night we spent the time in the corridor. And when it happened that there was an attack, we did not understand anything because it was very loud, very scary, and we barely managed to jump out of the door.
Why did all of this have to be done? What is the fault of these people? Okay, you didn't like Albania's position. my position as a consul, but what are these people guilty of? What if they had been in the house? What if there was no basement? There is not even a lift. No one would have had time to run out of the house and get downstairs. They would not have made it.
Shahin Omarov went through the rubble of what used to be his life until recently, encountering the host of the past in every corner.
There is such a thing as a diplomatic vault. There is a special room. There is a safe in it, and no one except the consul has access to it. And I had a safe here. And everything was covered up. We dug it out, thinking that we would save something inside. You won't believe it. Because of the very high temperature, because of the heat, because everything was on fire for 7 days, everything inside the safe turned to soap. A safe that is supposed to withstand 350 to 400 degrees. Everything melted inside. Unfortunately, all the documentation was destroyed. All the servers. This is the room where I was sitting. This is my office. This is where our children did their internships. There were students from Kharkiv universities, Karazhan University, Institute of International Relations. Every week, 10 to 15 children came here before the war. We held training. I invited lawyers. There was such a powerful, active life in the consulate.
The very next day, after the shelling of the Honorary Consulate, the Albanian Foreign Minister sent a letter of complaint to the Russian Foreign Minister about the crime. Russia, represented by its Foreign Affairs spokesperson Maria Zakharova, officially stated that it was not conducting military operation on the territory of Ukraine. In response, the Albanians declared the Russian Federation an enemy state. A few hours later, 3 smash rockets hit the consul's house, which is located outside Kharkiv and was not involved in hostilities at the time.
The shell hit here. It completely tore out the door to the kitchen. And the shell head landed here. There was a column here. It was completely smashed. And here is the entrance from the shell. And here is a part of the shell, you see. It's still lying here. I keep it as a memento.
As a memento, the owner collected 2 bags of debris. Each of these metal pieces carried death in it.
It's all from the house. All from my house.
According to Honorary Consul Shahin Omarov, the war unleashed by Russia has completely destroyed the civilized coast of international law. At all times, the diplomatic missions of every state are inviolable. Russia knows this, as it has a large network of diplomatic missions around the world.
I hope that the international community will provide a legal assessment of this situation. A separate tribunal should be prepared. I think that the destruction of our consulate will form the basis of this precedent. This is a demonstrative fact of how Russia ignores international law. This is a very bad precedent. This should not have been allowed to happen, and it should not go unpunished.